Tip of the iceberg, are you referring to overall social media, or you think Facebook could be finding a whole lot more money that came from Russian trolls trying to influence the election?
Again, this was a staff interview today. I've got a lot more questions to ask. I believe this was a fairly narrow focus. They discovered one of these internet troll farms that was based in St. Petersburg. There have been reports that there were many, many more. And again, as you kind of broaden the scope of this kind of inquiry, you may find more evidence. You know, I'm happy that Facebook came in. I've got more questions for them. I've got questions for Twitter. And this is an area that's going to require a lot more examination.
Also tonight, the president's oldest son, Donald Trump Jr., is preparing to appear on Capitol Hill tomorrow to testify about that meeting, of course, to the Senate Judiciary Committee staff about that meeting with the Russian lawyer who had promised him dirt on Hillary Clinton. I know you're also going to be speaking with him. Is he right now central, crucial to this investigation as you see it, Senator?
Well, I want to make sure that we get a chance to talk to everyone else who was in that meeting. We've talked to Mr. Manafort, but there are a number of other individuals we want to talk to, and I'd like to get their sides of the story first before we get a chance to talk to Donald Trump Jr. But obviously, me as a member, and I know other members of the committee from both sides of the aisle, we're going to want to talk to him as well, Mr. Trump Jr.
You know, we're also getting today a first look at Hillary Clinton's new book, Senator, and she talks about why she thinks she lost the election, and she blames herself, but she also has plenty of blame for others, including the president. In her new book out today, Clinton also writes, and I quote her, "What makes me such a lightning rod for fury? I'm really asking. I'm at a loss. I think it's partly because I'm a woman." Do you, Senator, think it's partly because she's a woman?
Aaron, you can give me a whole bunch of quotes from the book. I've not read the book. I hope to read it at some point in the future. I'm a lot more about how do we move forward as Democrats that can try to take back some of the folks who clearly were disaffected in 2016. A lot of folks, Hillary won Virginia, I'm proud of that, but there were wide swaths of rural Virginia where I'd done well for years that didn't support her this past election. I'd like to find messages that actually reach out to them to make sure that they can support Democrats in the future.
All right, Senator Warner, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it tonight.
Thank you, Aaron.
And next, more of our breaking news. Hurricane Irma, the deadly storm, an extreme threat to Puerto Rico at this moment. We're going to go live there, talk to a couple who is riding it out, and we hear from that couple. They've survived other hurricanes, but this one, unlike any before. Back now to our breaking news. Hurricane Irma already has killed 3 people, is now striking Puerto Rico, just about 50 miles off the coast. The U.S. territory of about 3.5 million people right now facing heavy rain and dangerous storm surges. The governor of Puerto Rico telling me moments ago that winds there, in his words, are like nothing we have experienced before. 400 shelters have been activated in Puerto Rico. Out front now, our own George Howell. He is in San Juan. George, you know, the governor said there's already significant damage in San Juan where you are. What are you seeing?
Well, right now, what we have seen, power outages. We know that is a big problem. This island quite vulnerable to power outages. They've seen many strong storms come through, but again, this is a Category 5 storm. It is one of the strongest seen, so there is a question about how long it will take to restore power to this island. Another concern, Aaron, storm surge, so that could be anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, and then later storm swell, the swell from the ocean, anywhere from 25 to 30 feet high. So that's 2 to 3 stories high of water that could come rushing in on any part of this island. The wind gusts, they come and go, and again, these winds so strong they can knock you right back. You have to be very careful with them. This situation that we're showing you here in Puerto Rico, if you take anything from it, here's the thing. This is a historic storm. If you're in the path of this storm, and I say this with the greatest of sincerity, take shelter, prepare, because this is not one of those storms that you want to ride out. I've covered several of these, Aaron, and I've never experienced the wind gusts quite as strong as I've seen with Hurricane Irma.
All right, thank you very much, George Howell. And it's so significant what George is saying because this is about 50 miles off the coast, right? When you talk about that double I, it gets even stronger and stronger as these hits continue. And you are already seeing such damage, winds they have never seen before in Puerto Rico history. I want to go to my next guest who owns a local bar and restaurant in Puerto Rico, in Rincon. It's outdoors. Obviously, he has great fear that he could lose everything. Dennis Rich joins me now on the phone. Dennis, let me just start by asking, where are you? How are you doing?
Well, so far doing okay. We're starting to get a lot of wind. Rain bands moving in ever so often, but we ended up moving out of our home, boarded it up, and we ended up moving actually down to where our business is. We have some cabins, and we're in a more secure area here, kind of out of the wind.
And obviously that is so crucial that you're safe. I know, they're talking about a storm surge that could be 2 or 3 stories and so dangerous. Are you prepared for that, Dennis? I know obviously you're with your wife. Are you prepared and safe?
Well, we're about as prepared as we could be, yeah. I feel pretty safe where we're at. We're not really in a zone area prone to flooding, but most of the rest of the town is in a low-lying area. So, right now it's dark here, so we're really not going to know the extent of the damage until the morning.
And I know, Dennis, you are not a newcomer here. You obviously have a business in Rincon. You've got vacation rentals. You've lived in Puerto Rico, if I'm right, at least since 1980. You have seen a lot of storms. I don't know. The governor told me earlier this hour he's never seen anything like this one. Have you? How is Irma different?
Well, like I said, it's dark right now, so we can't tell what's going to happen. But this is by far the worst thing that's hit Puerto Rico since Hurricane George back in '98, I think. And we just spoke a few minutes ago with some friends on the south side of the island in the town of Ponce that said they were having winds over 100 miles per hour, uprooting trees. They haven't had power all day. So, yeah, Puerto Rico's getting hit really hard right now.
And Dennis, are you worried about what comes next? Obviously, there's an economic crisis on your island. There's already been a lot of issues for power. Power could go out and not come back for a long time. Are you ready for something like that?
Well, actually, we are kind of ready. We have a backup water and power supply for our restaurant and bar and our business. Actually, that's probably where we'll be living for a few weeks, or maybe a few months if this thing doesn't get sorted out. But, we're just hoping for the best. There's not, like I said, at this point, we can't really tell what's going on, except that the wind seems to be picking up every minute. It's stronger and stronger. And we're supposed to, I think, on this end of the island, we're supposed to really start getting the full force up around midnight.
All right. Well, Dennis, we're going to be thinking of you. Good luck. I know you say you've gone to a place that is safe. Please stay that way. Dennis Rich joining us has lived there since 1980, and you heard him say he's never seen anything like this. Full brunt of the storm expected to hit there, Rincon, around midnight, as he says. But you heard him say on the south side in Ponce, friends already reporting winds of 100 miles an hour. And that storm is still about 50 miles, going to pass 50 miles off the coast of Puerto Rico. Our breaking news coverage continues now with AC 360.